So I just wanted to kind of walk through your portfolio and talk about, what I'm seeing as the stronger pieces and, assuming your goal is to be a 2D animator based on the resume you did, um, what kind of what you have and where you need to go. And I think this one isn't really doing much for you. It's sort of very kind of simple motion graphics, and I think yeah, it's not your strongest. And then this one, yeah, it's also not that strong of a piece. Um, so I would leave that out. Yeah, same here. I don't think you can use this on a portfolio or reel. It's just not. Yeah, it's not kind of you know. It's just a few frames of facial animation moving, and it doesn't look very professional. This test I think is it's starting to see some animation principles and that kind of stuff, which is good to see. And so I think this, while I don't think this is at the level of a portfolio piece, I think it's in this direction that you need to continue going, where you're really practicing the fundamentals and really showing the principles of animation. I think, yeah, I mean, seeing some storyboarding. Again, it sort of depends on the job position. There may be animation positions where they need you to do some storyboarding, and then others where they don't. I think that what's important with storyboards is a sense of camera and action, and I think you've got some of that. I think it relies a little too much on like a lot of shots where everything is sort of kind of centered, centered, kind of centered, and not really using kind of things at an angle much. I mean, here you've got a diagonal, and here you've got a diagonal, but everything is so very centered, and I think maybe relying a bit too much on that. So it's so much as either perfectly centered or this kind of flat horizontal look. And I think you want to try and get. I mean, here's one where you're starting to get some more interesting perspective happening, but then the background isn't really sort of filled in. Um, and Again, I like the other one. Probably not portfolio piece yet, but this is exactly the kind of direction for someone who wants to be an animator that you need to go in. You're getting characters, you're getting some serious movement. I'm not concerned that the drawings are sort of sketchy and rough because you have some kind of, nicer movement and stuff going on. So I think that, yeah, it's these kind of pieces you want to keep doing. That's okay, but it's some of the shapes look a little off to me, and I like that one. I think that's good. And this one, I thought there was a little bit more going on with the camera. You have something off to the side here, but again, there's this feeling of things being either sort of flat or centered, and that gets repeated a lot. Kind of that very centered or sort of kind of flat background. So I think with storyboards, trying to get kind of your perspective points in different parts of the frame and break it up and use that to draw the eye and not rely so much on centering things could be something. But again, I would say more that the thing to focus your attention on is doing more animation, doing really good animation, and kind of showing that you've really mastered those principles of animation.